that is 12.1% of the population, but the number continues to decline. Illiterates find it difficult to decipher words. The World Factbook, published by the U.S. intelligence agency CIA in 2015, shows how many people aged 15 and older in a country have learned to read and can demonstrate at least basic literacy skills. Germany achieves almost 100%, and other Western countries also reach the same figure. But worldwide, the rate of people who have no literacy skills is 13.7%. It is striking that many of the illiterates, around 75%, come from poor regions in South Asia, the Middle East, and Sub-Saharan Africa. It is also striking that there is still a very large difference in educational attainment between the sexes. There are still 17.3% women who have no opportunity to learn to read. For men, this figure is only 10%. The country of Niger has the most alarming figures here. There, not even 20% of the population can read. I think these numbers make you realize that it is still a privilege that you can read. It is a privilege to be able to live in a country where it is possible for everyone to obtain education. But in Germany, the number of books read continues to decline. In 2017, 13.32% of the population read several times a week. In 2021, the figure is only 12.74%, and there is no sign of a further increase. This decline is likely to be linked to the fact that there are now so many other media to keep us entertained. For many, television and social media have more to offer and immediately activate our reward center in the brain. But social media in particular can also have a negative impact on our psyche, especially for teenagers. You've probably heard a lot about that yourself, and that's not the topic of this book. Nevertheless, I wanted to draw your attention to how important and beautiful it is to engage in reading. I assume that since you are reading this book, you are an interested reader yourself, and I hope that in the next chapters I will be able to encourage you to read even more and prove to you even more how useful it is to be informed and also entertained with the help of books. I also hope, of course, to teach you a completely new way of reading, speed reading. That is why you should read more. Before we get into why and how you should and can read faster, I'd like to first look at why you should read in the first place. In the previous chapter, I already took you into the history of reading, and you also learned that it is becoming increasingly unpopular to read. But now I want to show you that you should still not give up reading. Reading is an important part of our society. From an early age, children learn to read and use this throughout their school career and also later in life. In the supermarket, at work, and while driving, everywhere we are exposed to letters and words. But what are the benefits of sitting down and reading a book with concentration on top of that? As a child, I always heard from my parents that I should read more and that it would do me good, and my parents were always happy when I held a book in my hand. But why is reading so highly regarded? That's because there are so many benefits to reading a lot. According to a study by neuroscientist William Jagist of the University of California, Berkeley, mental activities help train memory and challenge the brain, which can help prevent Alzheimer's. These mental activities include puzzles and riddles, but also reading. By reading, you keep your brain fit longer. You can exercise the brain just like any other muscle, so it doesn't hurt to not only take care of your body and build muscles, but also to sit down and exercise your brain so you can stay fit longer as you age, and reading is an excellent way to do this. In addition, reading increases your concentration. When you read, you usually tune out everything and focus solely on the book you're reading. This teaches you to be more focused, and the more you read, the easier it is to focus on a task. Another benefit is the stress-reducing effect of reading. When you read, you relax. According to studies, reading lowers your stress even more than going for a walk or listening to music. After just 6 minutes of reading, your heart rate drops and your muscles relax, shows an experiment by MindLab International at the University of Sussex. Reading in a book also doesn't prevent you from falling asleep in the process, the way smartphones and other screens can. The brightness of the device messes with your melatonin because it equates the blue light from the phone with sunlight. This can make it difficult for you to fall asleep after you've been on your phone, and your sleep quality deteriorates.